What's going on, guys? Chase with iDub Hockey. I'm here with Scott Van Horn, who's the VP of Product and Development for True Hockey. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So we have some really exciting skates in front of us. I've been really wanting to get in and try a pair of these myself. But before we start talking about all the tech and spec we have in both the TF9, TF7, how would you describe the fit profile of both models?
For sure. Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. I'm also here with our manager of skate development, Tyler. So he may jump in or give me a hand with props and whatnot. Basically, the fit of the skate's driven by the shell. So here, this is our TF9 shell. You can see with carbon fiber, pure carbon fiber all the way through. So the shape of this drives the fit. The shape of this took us decades. This is tens of thousands of foot scans merged together and translated through a lot of testing and development into this shape, which really drives a very, very comfortable skate. If you're talking specific fit profile, the skates available, both the TF9 and TF7 are available in a normal width, which is going to fit, 65% of your hockey players out there. And then we've got a wide width, which is going to take you up to probably the 85th to 90th percentile for foot width. Beyond that, you're going to want to look at custom skates. But basically with our two fit profiles, it's going to fit the vast majority of the players out there.
So a pretty standard fit, but I would say the fit kind of features of these skates are pretty much different than anything else on the market. So you have this shell that is, again, different from anything else we see out there. What is this true shell tech, and what does it really do for you as a hockey player out on the ice?
Well, one of the biggest things and one of the main features is the thermoformability of the shell. So we've actually developed a proprietary process where we're sandwiching the thermoplastic polymers between layers of carbon fiber. So what you get when you do that is you get the thermoformability of the thermoplastics, but you also get the protection and the stiffness of the carbon fiber. So they work together in that sense. And you're getting thermoformability all the way through, like this whole area through here. So most of your major bony tuberosities are all going to be thermoformed when you heat mold the skate. The general shape of the last, though, is going to be pretty darn comfortable out of the box, but doing the thermoform, which is 6 minutes in your skate oven, and with a shrink wrap at the end, is going to give you just that perfect, potentially custom fit depending on how close your foot is to the actual natural last shape.
And so why is that so key, is having a boot that truly forms and gives you that anatomically correct fit? How does that translate into on-ice performance?
Well, obviously comfort's a key feature, but another feature is power transfer. The better that the shell fits your foot, the better you're going to actually be able to transfer your push energy through the boot, into the blade, into the ice.
Mm-hmm. And so this is an almost custom-like fit, like you kind of mentioned too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different kind of adjustability options that we see as far as the tongue goes. I feel like that's a pretty cool, unique feature, and we'll talk about the insole as well.
Yeah, I'll get Tyler to hand me a skate here. So here's the TF9. Mm-hmm. So our tongue, like with our custom skate, our tongue's actually attached with a Velcro tab. So the benefit of that is you can lift it up and you can shift the tongue in. If you want to fill the toes a bit and you want a low tongue feeling, you get it right so you can go quite deep in. Or if you want to have it high on your shins or you want to flop it, you can go quite high up. It's a really neat feature. Also, you can fully remove the tongue and buy a different aftermarket tongue because a tongue is a unique part of the skate. It's so important and it's very individual. People have certain likes and dislikes, and we want to give people the freedom to be able to mix and match tongues to get that perfect fit that they want.
Yeah, some people just love that big white felt for some nasty flop out there.
For sure. And if you look at the two models, the TF9's got a thinner profile, really lightweight molded tongue. A lot of technology's gone into this versus our TF7, which actually has this it's a thicker felt tongue, a little bit more traditional, but I don't want to call it too traditional because we put a lot of technology into the foam layering inside of it.
Yeah, it's like a low profile modern spin on a traditional tongue. It's kind of a cool hybrid there. So another thing, like we said, this boot just fits incredible out of the box, but you have a lot of custom options or customization options almost in that TF9. but below the boot, or under the foot, I should say, both the TF7 and the TF9 have some pretty cool insoles. So what can you tell me about the PFS insoles there?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we got this personalized fit system here. So all the skates are going to come with a really nice footbed, 6 mil thick urethane footbed. And then the way the skate's designed, as far as the arch specifically, is it's designed out of the box to fit a mid to low arch. So if you've got a mid or a mid-high arch, you're going to want to add, and you're going to know, everybody knows if they got a higher arch or not based on wearing shoes their whole lives. So if you've got a mid or mid to high arch, you're going to want to test out these fit pads. And essentially, you're just peeling so you got the adhesive double-sided tape there, 3M. And what I recommend is you're going to position it in line with where the arch is on the insole. You're going to put it in the skate and test it. You'll know right away if it's in the right spot. If it's not, pull it out, take it off, shift it back. The other thing is we've got a medium and a large. So if you're a really high arch, you're going to want to go with a larger pad. If you're more of a mid arch, you're going to go with the medium pad. And if you're ultra high arch, you can actually double the pads up. And then you're going to get a lot of arch support there. Also, these are just foam, right? So you can cut these down too. So you can really take your time and customize that fit in the arch area with this system.
Yeah, so not only are the sides and the top of the foot getting that custom feel, but you can spend a couple minutes and really dial in the bottom of the feet, which can be a really important level of comfort or
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of comfort, inside of the boot, we have a difference in liners between the TF9 and the TF7. The TF7 is a little more traditional. You call it the Blackwick liner, but what makes that TF9 so special about, really geared for that elite level hockey player out there?
Yeah, so it's a Clarino. No, that's TF9 here. Try to show it in the camera. It's a Clarino liner. Clarino, it's a more expensive material. It's a higher grade material. It's hydrophobically treated, which means that water is going to wick away from it. It's not going to get absorbed, and it's antimicrobial treated, so it should keep the foot smell down.
Oh yeah, we all need that.
We've added reinforcement there too, which we
Oh,
don't have in the
good.
custom.
That's a good point. Tyler's saying. So we also have it reinforced here.
Okay.
This is the high wear zone. So the Clarino is good for wear resistance, but this even adds more wear resistance right in the high wear areas.
And is that something we find on the TF7 too?
Yeah, we included it in both.
Perfect. And then, it's really cool that both of them have pretty much the same level of internal ankle pocket foam too, correct?
Yeah. We've got it varies depending on the area of the skate, but it's anywhere from 11 millimeters to 6 millimeters.
Awesome. And one thing I did forget to touch on as we were talking about the boot shell is the differences between the TF9 and the TF7. So I know we're moving around a little bit here, but I did not want to forget that important feature and difference there.
Absolutely. And that's a great question. And it's one of the things that helps drive the two price point differences. So as people know, carbon fiber is a very expensive material, and it's expensive because it's hard to make, and it's also functionally, it's an amazing advanced material. Fiberglass is a little bit more of a traditional material, but it has a lot of the same properties as carbon fiber. So our TF7, to reduce cost, we actually build it mostly out of fiberglass. We do have some unidirectional carbon on the inside because that's just required for the harmony that happens with thermoplastics. But most of it's fiberglass. So the difference here is you're going to see about a 20-gram weight increase and a little bit less stiffness, but still, it's going to be a high-performing skate, this TF7.
I think it's important to touch on just the whole one-piece design of the shell.
Yeah. So both TF7 and TF9, as you can see, they are very similar. They are a one-piece. It's a one-piece shell that goes all the way, covers the toes. And when your foot's in here, your toes are actually sitting in it. So you're getting this full wrap of protection all the way around your toe box. You'll see that literally the shell is made of pure carbon fiber. The only added material here are the thermoplastic polymers. There's no other filler. We have nothing to hide here. You can see exactly what this thing is made of all the way through.
And like we've kind of touched on off camera here is just the amount of value. I mean, That's not even close to the top end stock price point in some of the competitor skate, but it's 100% or pretty much 100% carbon fiber with that thermoplastic inner layer. But even just having a one-piece boot at that mid price point at the TF7 is, like I said before, it's really going to raise the bar for both of these price points. So
Absolutely.
how would you maybe describe the differences in the players that maybe should be looking at a TF9 and a TF7?
Well, I'll be honest with you, with the TF7, or sorry, the TF9, we really spared no expense. We tried to make it as premium as possible in every way, shape, or form. We're pretty confident we're going to have NHL players that are going to be using it this year. So that's the caliber of this skate. It's priced fairly. We didn't want to come in and try to match category pricing. We wanted to price it fairly for what our costs are to make it. And but no expense was spared on quality in any area. Then, of course, with the TF7, you're trying to create a more affordable product. So what player would go for the TF7 over the TF9? Maybe someone who's a little bit more budget conscious. As far as performance, it's a little bit of a heavier skate. It's not quite as stiff, but it's still, you're going to get fantastic performance out of it.
Yeah.
You've seen if Tyler has a comment on that.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to the individual's budget, and maybe it's the frequency that they're playing. That'll change the age of the player. This is going to be the TF7 probably geared towards the younger players. Those 10 to 14-year-olds getting into the true skate for the first time, and that's the exciting thing about these stock skates is that we've been kind of limited to those younger players. And this is going to open the door for them to get into a true skate right away.
And not to mention we have junior and they're junior priced. So it's really, really aggressive for the junior pricing.
And I mean, that's the whole reason why I really wanted to ask that question is because you guys are coming in so much lower at that elite and performance price point. I don't want players thinking like, oh, well, it's not priced at the top price point, so it's not an elite level skate. So that's really what I wanted to clarify with that question. And then to finish us off too, we have a new holder, something below the boot that is new for, I guess the whole true stock skate's a little bit new. So what can you tell me about the shift holder here?
Well, the shift holder's been around for about a year now. We launched it on our custom skate a year ago. This is the exact same holder that we put on our custom skate. So it's what you call a quick change holder. All the skates are going to come with a tool that you can use to put through the release latch hole there, and you just push it back and pull the blade out. The way we've designed this, we've designed it to be high performance, so the blade's tight. The blade's going to fit in there tight. You don't want any movement or decoupling between the blade and the holder. So it is a tight fit, and because of that, we've actually added this notch here. So this just assists. When your skates are brand new, the blade will be difficult to get out, so you'll actually have to use the trigger and then a screwdriver or something just to pop it out. As you use them, the plastic will relax a bit and it'll be easier to interchange them. So after you heat mold them, sharpen them, and start to play, it will be easier to interchange it.
Right, but you'll still keep that nice secure hold on that runner. And then to finish this off, let's talk about the two differences in runners that we have between the TF9 and the TF7.
Absolutely, yeah. So for the TF7, we've got our stainless steel. So this is a high-end stainless steel that's got mid-range polish on it. So this is going to perform really well. I'm quite happy with the quality of the stainless steel that we were able to use for the TF7. And then the TF9, it's essentially the same stainless steel. We've just done an additional polish, and then we've put this coating on it that's going to help a little bit with edge retention and glide.
Perfect. And then what about the profile or radius would you call for both of these?
It's a standard 9-foot profile that we've got on the skate. So we recommend that you go to your pro shop and tune your profile according to your height, weight, and what position you play.
Mm-hmm. But it comes with a blank canvas almost, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could just sharpen it and go, and you'll have a decent starting point. But a serious player that's going to be looking at buying true skates is probably going to be looking at getting them profiled.
Perfect. Well, Scott, I'm going to thank you so much for coming out and filling us in on this really exciting TF line.
Not a problem. Anytime. Just let me know.
All righty, guys. And then for you guys at home that want to check out these new true TF9 and TF7 skates, make sure you go to icewarehouse.com.